Welcome to the Prosperity Profiles podcast, sponsored by Prosperity Profilers, LLC. They'll help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. We hope you listen often, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Now here's your host, four-time #1 best-selling author, speaker, and business coach, Holly Porter.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another day at the podcast. I've got a fabulous gal here with me today. Her name's Catt Serrano. How are you, Catt?
I'm wonderful, Holly. How are you?
I am great. Well, of course, she's one of the beautiful authors that we are featuring in our book for the 40/40 Rules, Wisdom from 40 Women Over 40. Can't wait.
I know. I'm so excited.
And as of right now, we have not launched it. It's coming up. This recording may go out after it's launched, just so everybody knows. It may already be launched. November 29th is our launch date. So if you're catching this on the replay, then that's when it'll be coming out. So super excited to have her in it. And so I've known Catt for about a year and a half?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, so we met in a group online, and then we met in person last summer, and I really just loved her energy and everything about her. She's just awesome, and she's the cutest little boy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. That's why I had to come to the car, because he's in the house.
You got to get where it's quiet. Yeah.
Yes.
We do what we have to do. And I record my podcast video and audio. So if you're listening, just know that sometimes we'll say something like, look, or we show something, and then they're like, I'm listening. I can't see what you're showing me. So that I do both, so that they're able to use it. We put it on the website both ways, so that more people can get, all my audiences can listen to all the wisdom these women have. So Catt is an award-winning author, speaker, life and relationship coach who helps women obtain and maintain balance in their work life and love to live an abundant life. She started her coaching business in 2016 to help other women to deal with sometimes the overwhelming issues of work, relationships, and trying to maintain a household while life's happening, because we all know it does.
Yes.
Prior to coaching, she spent over 15 years as a case manager, corporate trainer, facilitator, and workshop leader. So today she offers a wide range of coaching programs and services, from individual coaching to seminars and keynote speeches. And we will put her contact information. We'll talk more about that. I'll let her give that later. And then we'll also have that posted below. But right now we want to just jump in and get to know you better and find out, tell us your story. Let's hear it.
Well, Holly, let's see. I can't tell you my whole story because we'll be here forever. But I'll give you the really, really short version of kind of what really propelled me into where I am today. So probably about 2016, I believe, right before I started coaching full-time and just wanting to help other women prepare their lives or repair their lives, I kind of had a mental break. So probably the end of 2015, I was so overwhelmed with life. I've always been the matriarch, the strong person in my family. I always had to do everything, answer all the questions, make all the phone calls. I mean, they would call me and be like, what is such and such telephone number, Pizza Hut on such and such street? And I'm like, look in the phone book. Like, why are you calling me? Like, they would call for the silliest of things. And so, just dealing with that. And then my mom became really, really ill. She almost lost her life. She was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So we went through a whole whirlwind with that. Just trying to take care of my home, trying to take care of my own children, my grandchildren, and my life, having a life by working and making sure I stayed healthy. So I kind of had a mental break, totally overwhelmed. And at one point, I was at my lowest of lows, and I really felt like giving up. I really felt like, I can't do nothing else. I can't be strong for nobody else. And it got really, really bad, where I did at some point have suicidal thoughts. I had a plan. But thankfully I did not execute the plan. I had to lean on my faith heavily, go back to that. And I was able to get through it and overcome it. And now I am all about self-care, self-love, and just maintaining a healthy balance. So I still do all of those things, but now I realize the power of no.
Yes.
And I use it. And it definitely keeps me grounded. And I want to do that for other women, because in this day and age, here in Indianapolis, every time I turn around, somebody's an entrepreneur, or they want to start their own business, or they're doing so many things and they're coming and going. And it's like, yes, we are women. We were built for this. We can do all of these things. But there are certain things that we have to do along the way, alongside doing all of those things and being superwoman, to make sure that we maintain our health, our physical health, as well as our mental health.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%. So what are some of the things you do for self-care? That was a big thing, by the way, in our first book. This book, I didn't make it as much about that, but getting feedback on that.
I do a lot of meditating. I meditate a lot. I pray a lot. I'm in silence a lot. And I know you said we're on audio and video, so I don't know, a lot of people may not be able to see it, but I'm in my car. And I stay in my car a lot. My car is my safe space. If I come home from work and I know there's a hustle and bustle in my house, I will literally sit either in my garage or my carport for maybe 15 minutes to kind of just decompress before I go in the house, to have that time to myself. I vacation a lot. I definitely try to take 1 to 2 vacations every couple of months. I've learned that taking time for myself definitely, for me, is one of the best things of self-care that I can do. And then again, like I said, I've learned the power of no. I used to be that girl that would always say yes. Yes to everybody, yes to everything, knowing if I had 3 things booked on a Saturday morning and somebody called that I loved and cared about and asked me to do something, I'd be like, sure, I'll do it. And I'm like, how the heck am I going to get this done? Now, I understand that I need to say no. Like, I'm only one person. I can only do so much. So meditation, vacation, and just saying no.
Yeah, I love those. Those are 3 great things to remember. So what made you want to become an author?
Well, I believe that everybody has a story and everybody has a testimony. And I also believe that in telling my story, it will definitely help somebody else. Even if it only helped one person, I felt like my job is done. And I wanted to become an author because I believe my story needed to be told. And not just to say, because I'm sure there are plenty of people whose story is 10 times better than mine, greater than mine, more of a comeback tale. But I definitely just think that sometimes we don't share what we go through, and keeping it in and holding it in, I think it's kind of selfish, because I've learned that everybody doesn't need to see anybody, definitely including myself, but they don't need to see us all together all the time. That's not real life. That's not reality. And I just think that, telling people what we actually go through sometimes can help more than seeing, for lack of better words, the fabulous side of life.
Yeah. Well, it's when people are raw and real, it's like you don't feel like you might have them on a pedestal, but I don't think we judge them as much when they show their true side, because you're like, wow, they're actually human. They're just like us.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I feel the same way. So why did you get into the entrepreneurial field of coaching?
So I kind of fell into it. Here's the thing. I've really been doing it for the last almost 30 years. Again, I've always been the person that people come to for advice, for their opinions. Long ago, when I did event planning, event management full time, it was always, I need you to look over this contract. Can you help me with my 501c3? Can you help me doing my articles of incorporation? Well, should I buy a house or should I stay in my apartment? And I'm like, oh my God, like you've been working at this job for 15 years and you have a great boyfriend and, you know, do you want to buy a house? Well, yeah, well, let's figure out how we're going to buy you a house. And so I've always kind of done it.
Yeah.
I just didn't call it coaching or didn't realize I could call it coaching. And at that time, didn't realize I could actually do it full time as a job.
Right.
And it's definitely my passion because I am a servant. In my heart of hearts, I'm a servant. I love serving others. I love helping others however I can. And so it was only fitting and natural that that would be the next step in my life, to do it full time, and because I love to do it. So.
Right. Was it scary? I mean, what was your process to get there?
It was definitely a little bit scary because you're asking people to trust you.
Yeah.
You're asking people to trust you to help them get to where they want to be. And so it's like, okay, well, I know what I would do in this situation and I know how it would work if it didn't work out. But what happens if this doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, especially the first couple of clients? And it's like, ooh, even though I'm not telling people what to do, you know, I basically just ask them the questions and have them figure it out. But it was kind of scary at first. But I've taken so many courses to help me. And I do believe that all of my previous positions that I've held have actually helped me in that manner. So I'm very thankful that it had been a little while from my corporate career to actually coaching, because I now do have all of those skills and those leadership workshops and just skills from all of those things and all the classes they send you to and trainings and workshops and all of those things to help me in my coaching business. So it definitely helped.
Yeah. Have you ever had a client that just wasn't a match after you started working with them?
No, I haven't so far. Fingers crossed that never happens.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I try to, I do have a consultation with all of my clients, and I do try to have that consultation to see if we're a good fit for each other, because, you know, everybody is not for me and I'm not for everybody. And before we even get too far gone, I just want to make sure that we are a good fit and we would mesh well together and kind of what their goal and vision is. And even if I can assist, and if I can't, I will gracefully bow out and say, you know what, I don't believe I'm the coach or the person for you. If I have somebody, a colleague or something that would be a better fit, I'll, you know, direct them to give them or give them a referral. If not, you know, I just let them know that it definitely wouldn't be my place, depending on what they were actually looking for. So.
Well, sure. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so do you have other coach friends that you work with?
I do have other coach friends / consultants.
Yeah.
Yes. And I have had some people, a couple that I had to refer out. Like if somebody, I know one of them before, thought they needed a life coach, but they had some deeper rooted issues that needed to be addressed. And one of them was like addiction. They still kind of struggled with that. Right. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not an addictions counselor. I'm not an addictions therapist. I can coach you on all your life skills and all of those things, but you need to deal with this first. Yeah. And it would be pointless for me to even take them on as a client, knowing that that root problem was still in the background. Absolutely. Because, I mean, addictions is something that's very, very serious, and relapse can happen all the time. So that was one person that I had to say, hey, I have this person over here who this is all she does is addiction. So you need to go work with her. So yeah, I definitely don't have a problem with telling people that I can't help them.
I know. No, it saves everybody headaches sometimes, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you think the most fulfilling thing you do is?
I'm sorry, what's the most influential thing I do?
No, the most fulfilling. Like what?
The most fulfilling. I believe the most fulfilling thing that I do is just hearing people, hearing other people's success stories. if I hear that they did good or landed a job or got a promotion or achieved whatever they were trying to achieve, that is fulfilling to me. That makes me happy.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of plans do you have for 2019?
So 2019 is actually going to be a very, very, I'm speaking it into existence, a very great year. 2019, I'm currently working on a program to work with women who are coming out of jail, out of prison. It'll kind of be along the lines of a reentry program, but not really a reentry program.
Right.
More just kind of like life skills to get them back on track and to get them back into society, but to have them, you know, achieve, whether it's, you know, getting their own home or getting even just somewhere to stay, period, an apartment where they don't have to go to a shelter, working their way through the workforce, getting a job, going back to school, whatever that looks like. So kind of reentry, but not the traditional criminal justice reentry program.
I have one of my clients did that and is very successful now. And so she wants to do something similar. I haven't talked to her for a little while, but you'll have to have me connect you with her, because that would be a good connection for you, because she's a success.
Oh, yeah, great.
And it's nice to have those, because I just met a guy last week that said he works with, and he's a pastor, but he coaches guys, you know, men, and same type of issues. But he said that they're mostly men that come out that have been in prison for maybe 60 years or even 40 years, like like they did something really dumb and went through their whole life, and they get out and they don't know what to do. Like, it's safe to be in jail for them, because think about if you were in jail for just the last 30 years. Okay, you had no cell phones. Think of all the technology and just the life are easier for us. Like, we need to be more compassionate to those type of people, because, you know, they could have been in jail. Who knows? They might even have been innocent. I mean, that happens all the time too. But I never can understand how people go to prison. Totally off the subject, but how they go to prison, you know, for longer than people that kill people when they did drugs. I mean, it just is like, what the heck? Like, it's such a weird system we have.
It is very weird, and that is one of the things that's close to my heart, because my undergrad is in criminal justice.
Yeah.
And being in the field that I've been in for so long, which is social service, and just it's like so many people come out of prison or jail and they're so lost and confused and like, where do I go? And a lot of them don't have family, or their family moved away, or just they don't want to be bothered because they look at them as, you know, just a headache. And it's like, yeah, you've screwed up so many times and we're tired. And so it's like, what do you do? So
yeah, well, you'll have to talk to me offline a little bit more about that, and I'll give you some
great.
We gave him, because it's similar. And and they don't have money, you know, so it's more of a
they don't
program that
so I definitely have to find money.
yeah so yeah, we'll have to have a discussion about that. I can share some things with that. So okay, anything else for 2019, because it's coming fast?
No, just on a personal note, I do have a vision in 2019 to buy a home in Florida, so I can be in the Midwest and on the southern coast at the same time, and have 2 homes.
Okay.
So that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. But other than that, just continue to build my coaching business, my clientele, continue to make great connections, and continue to help women change their lives.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I know if you're listening to this, you can feel her heart. She has lots of heart, Catt. And, you know, we'll post her information of how to get a hold of her. Do you want to, what's the best way people can get a hold of you if they're listening to this?
The best way to get a hold of me is probably email.
Okay, spell it out, and then we'll post it.
Okay, it's CATT Catt, CATTSERRANO.com.
Okay. And do you have a website, Catt?
I do. It's www.cattserrano.com.
Okay. We want to make sure that we add that to it as well. So we'll make sure that's on there, and you can go and check her out, and then I'm sure they can connect with you on social media as well and see you there, right?
Yes, absolutely. Everything is Catt Serrano. It's so simple. Except Instagram. Instagram is under Catt Coaches.
Okay. Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Well, so there you go, everybody. That's how you can get a hold of her. And yeah, I've loved. I can't wait to have you be one of our best-selling authors, and everybody watch for that, because that book will be launching again November 29th of this year. That's coming right up. And if you might be listening to this after the fact, but if you want to go grab that, you'll be able to get it on Amazon. You'll be able to get it on our social media pages. So grab yourself a copy of the 40/40 Rules, Wisdom from 40 Women Over 40, Volume 2, that is. And it has a burgundy cover. The first one had a purple cover, like a lavender, and this one has a cover. So
Thank you for listening to Prosperity Profiles Podcast, sponsored by Prosperity Profilers LLC, helping you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. We hope you enjoyed our time together, and we'll visit again soon. You can learn more about Prosperity Profilers by going to hollyporter.com.